Hello everybody, Speedrun here. Welcome to the third episode, Basics of Modeling. I will start by going to the Ultimate 3D course folder that we have created on our second episode. Now I'm going to Scenes and I'm going to duplicate the first document that we made here, Maya document, and call it 3 Basics of Modeling. Okay. Instead of double click here, I'll open through our Maya. Since if I double click it, it will open an extra Maya windows, and that's a bit annoying due to the loading time. So File, Open Scene, and we have here straight away our scenes folder, since we have set up properly last time, Basics of Modeling. I will not save, and now we are into that document. So if I click save, we are already editing here. I want to make a table, and I hope you follow along on your side, and we can build this table together. Now I have created a cube by clicking on the cube. I'll press F. Right now I'm gonna press R. As you can see, I have the sizing tool here. If I press plus and minus on the keyboard, I can actually increase and decrease the handles. I like the handle about there. I'm going to stretch this to looks like a table would. Now I'm going to press down. Okay. A little bit thinner, just like that. Now it looks like a wood shape already. I think the thickness and the whole sizing here is quite ideal. You can be creative and make as long or as short as you like. We could go directly and make a table like this. However, this will look better later on, trust me. All right, so I have made this piece of table. I'm going to right now right click and choose face. Now I have clicked on the lower face of this, and I'm going to click delete. I have done that because as less polygon on Ragnarok Online, better. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to right click here and go to edges. I want to select all the edges at the top, so holding shift and also left click, I select all the 4 edges at the top. On our attribute editor, or I should say modeling toolkit here, I'm going to choose bevel. Once I click on bevel, it will bevel quite too much. I want a little bit less on that. So I'm going to put 0.2. This looks pretty good for now. I want to check the segments. So as more as increase the segments, as more rounded it gets. However, I want to keep very low poly for this. So this is pretty good for what I want. Now we have our first wood shape right here. You could go ahead and also, I could say, let me just return a step here. We could also do it here on the edges and click bevel as well. So you can see that's already looking different shape of the table here. As I mentioned, I want to keep as low poly as possible. So I'm basically just showing you what is possible, what is not. Now I'm going back to object mode using my right click object mode. The same thing can be chosen here. So for example, vertex selection, edges, faces. I just like to use the shortcuts. It's just way faster than you navigate here, pick what you need. Object mode. Now I'm going back to W so I can move. Okay. I want to create a few more pieces of this wood. I can simply hold shift and drag to the side. Okay. Now I'm gonna drag this far here. I'm going to return to the first one and make another copy. And this time I am going to delete 2 more faces. So I choose face here, pick this and pick this and delete it. As well, I return to this one and face, pick this and delete it. Okay. Now I can go to the last one, choose face and delete this one. Hopefully you're following along. Okay. Make sure you get this part done on your side. If you need, you pause the video and continue. Right now we have this nice setup right here. I can right click object mode and click right here. Okay. You remember on the previous episode I have teach you how to move these handles. Right now I'm going to click on D to unlock the handle. I'm going to click on V to snap into the vortex, or I mean should say faces. And I want to actually snap into the vortex right here. And I have basically this is the vortex I was snapping to. So right now you can see that I have created a perfect alignment to that vertex right there. I could even choose D, V, and snap here and snap there. Right now it's perfectly aligned to that vertex. I don't need that. I'm going to return the steps, just showing you that the handle can be snapped perfectly to those edges. Now I'm going to pick this and hold V and snap to the vertex of the other table. So now we are actually building a perfect perfect touching 3D models. I think you get what I mean. So I'm going to now hold shift and V. Like this, I can straight away snap to the next vertex. Shift and V and snap to the next vertex. As you can see, we are building something that could be a ceiling, but for this case, it's a table. Nice. Now I'm going to do an extra one. Shift V and snap right there. Okay. Let's shift and V this one, or D and V to unlock first. Make sure it's aligned to the vertex somewhere. So it's perfect aligned to the edge. Now I'm going to press V and snap to the last one here. We have a very cool looking table. All right. Now I'm going to select holding shift every single piece of this table. Right now in the modeling toolkit, I have combine right here. I click on the combine. Our pivot will be automatically centered. And we are right now pretty much centered. We can make sure that we are centering by, for example, making these wireframes in the option up here. Now I can hold V, or actually X, snap here, snap there, and we were a bit out of the translation Z. Now we can go ahead and click on frozen transformation or freeze transformation right here. All right, hopefully it's not being too difficult. This is a very simple 3D modeling already. Now we can go back and show our shade. Nice. We can go ahead and lift this to the height that we think will look good in Ragnarok Online. Okay, maybe a bit higher. All right. Now we can scale this up and down using Browedit later on. Now I'm going to create another cube. As you can see, from a cube we haven't done all of this, which is cool. In this cube I'm going to make the table legs. Now I scale up, I scale like this, and you can see that looks pretty cool already. I'll scale down a bit. I'm going to move using D and V, snap to the top here. Now I'm going to press W to change to the moving tool and snap to this very edge right here. Using V, I can snap to this edge. So it's actually perfectly touching the lowest part of the table. Okay. I can now scale down until about the line. Let's select this object and press, now I need to remember, Ctrl+1, okay? So we hide everything else. I can go ahead and press, let's go ahead and press face. Right here, I can scale this face a little bit like that. So we have a very cool looking table legs here. I'm going right now to align to one of these vortex, I should say grid. Now I'm going to press X because X is to align on the grid. And I can align on the grid somewhere here, okay? Now I can see these translations and try to duplicate to the other side. So the other side will be -2. So if I hold Shift and copy this, and right here I put -2, you can see that I have copied perfectly to this side. If I duplicate both of them, and right now select these two and put -3, it will go perfectly to the other side. We have made a perfect symmetrical table. All right. Now I am going to select these 4 legs of the table, press Ctrl+1 to hide the rest. With the right click, choose face. And now I can pick all the top faces right here and press delete. We don't need them. Okay. Now I'm going to edge. And I'm going to select these 4 edges right here. On our modeling toolkit on the side, we have connect. Once I hit connect, it will actually create a segment to opposite side of my selection. If I have selected this and this top one, would have made a vertical line here. I can actually show you right now. You can see the vertical line, but I want to select this side and we'll make the line right here. If I go down a bit, I'll have some properties for disconnect. For disconnect, I said a bit faster and understood like disconnect, but no, disconnect. All right. I can play a little bit of the properties here to see what does that happen. If I choose 0.4, it will go down. All right, I want to choose 0.2. Perfect. Now I have picked 0.2. And I can finalize by either hitting enter or click once again to connect. Okay. I want to do the same thing right here. Let's press connect and hit enter. As you can see, same thing has happened. And he remembers the whole properties from the previous model. Now select this and press G. Oh, that didn't happen. Actually, the last thing we done was to create a polycube, and I was just testing if G would remember the connect in this situation, but it didn't. So let's go again to edges, select all 4 edges, also hit connect. And to finalize, oh, I forgot to, so let's go to edges again. I forgot to click once again to connect to finalize the click, okay? Let's go to these edges, select all and hit connect. I could have done that before creating the copies, so I wouldn't have to actually do one by one. I was just showing different possibilities to you. Now I can press Ctrl+1 again, and we have a very cool looking table. Let's delete this cube at the center for now. This is a really cool looking table for Ragnarok. I'm going to create a tile to put that on top of this table right now. Let's go ahead and pick plane shape. I'll press W to bring this plane up, almost touching, but a little bit higher than just touching the table. I want to go here under inputs, so channel box layer editor. You remember inputs from the previous episode? I want to choose here subdivisions and make this 0 and make this 2. So we have something like that. I'm going to scale this to about here, okay? And as you can see, the middle part of the table does not need to be, how can I say this? Doesn't need this gap, so we can lower the amount of polygons basically. Let's try to fix that. I'm going to now modeling toolkit and click on separate, so we separate every single piece again. I'm going to delete this one right here, okay? And I'm going to center this, modify, center pivot. Now I'm thinking how I can actually do this. So 3D modeling is basically a little bit of critical thinking. I am going to, I want to make this as simple as possible. All right, I have an idea. Let's select the edges, pick these 2 edges, and move along to see what this happens. All right, that's okay. Now I can pick also these and these edges, and I can pick these and these edges right here. I'm going to bring the pivot a little bit to the side, so D and V, snap here, and now I want snap at the very end. So we have extended this piece of wood. Okay, now I'm going to right click and object mode. So we have lowered the amount of polygons right here that this table have. All right, let's go back to our tile up here. I'm going to click R to actually extend this tile until a little bit over here. All right, now I'm going to edges, select these two edges and select these two edges. With the moving tool or pressing W, I'm going to extrude holding shift and bring this down. As you can see, we have a very cool looking tile here. Okay. In the object mode, I can resize this a little bit, but make sure not touching too much, as in game you have this, how can I say? These faces could be touching each other, and when you zoom out, it overlaps. So we need to avoid this by giving some distance between the table and the 3D here, the tile. Now I'm going to select these two edges and bevel. Let's go ahead and select those two edges right here and right here. Let's bevel this as well and choose 0.2, the same as the table. Now it's actually falling down nicely. We could even give an extra segment here. Let's have a look. So it feels more like a towel. I'm going ahead to edges right now, or let's go ahead to vertex. I'll select these 4 vertex right here. I'm going to use W and drag down a little bit. So now we have a very cool looking tile above our table. Nice. Let's go ahead and duplicate these two faces right here. You'll understand why in a second. Basically, in Ragnarok Online, you cannot see the normals, and normals are basically the dark part of this 3D object you're seeing. This will be transparent in the game, so we need to actually duplicate it and reverse. Let's now select our model. You can see here is plane 1. Let's rename this by pressing enter and call tile, or we can call tablecloths. Now I can go ahead and Ctrl D. As you can see, I have made a duplicate of these tiles. I can go ahead and Ctrl 1. Ctrl 1. As you can see, I have picked just the selected object to display on my screen. I'm going to faces and select all the top faces right here. And delete it. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and select these faces. Go to mesh. Edit mesh. here, mesh display and reverse. Once I click reverse, now you can see that the dark side of the 3D is actually facing the opposite direction as before. And this will solve our problem when we are in game. Now we have two models here. You can see here. And this is really well made for Ragnarok Online. Okay. On the next episode is like basics of UV. We will cover up on how to give these colors. Now I can select here object mode. Select all of this. We could either group or combine. I'm going to combine. So all of this now is one single piece of the object. Let's go ahead and call this table. I hit enter and call it table. Now I can create our second example of 3D model. Let's bring this to the side. Okay. Here I'm going to create a gift box. Let's create our friend cube once again. In face mode, I can click it, press W. So our pivot is a bit too far up. This means it's getting a bit lost in the 3D view. We could fix that by simply restarting our 3D, our Maya. Let's see what happens if I go File, Open Scene, and Basics of Modeling, open this again. If I go to Face and click and press W now, you can see that the pivot is fixed. That happens sometimes, and that's the only way I know how to fix it. All right. Now I can bring down this face a little bit. Holding shift, I'm going to bring this up, and you can see easily I made a little bit of like a cut into this box. Right now I can select the 4 sides of the top part, use my R to select the sizing tool, hold shift and extrude to this side right here. You can see that's looking already like a gift box. Nice. Now I have the basic shape of gift box. I'm going to go ahead and make a duplicate of this box. Okay. Holding Ctrl 1 to, I click on the cube here and click Ctrl 1 to hide everything else. Now I want to create the gift straps around this box. Okay, let's create another cube. You understand why in a moment. Scale this down, scale up just like this, or scale a little bit thicker, bring to the sides. And I'm going to also make a copy of this, select this shoe and click and make another copy up here just to save time later. Select this shoe and click combine. All right. We are going to learn now something that calls Boolean. I'll select this shoe here and select the center object pressing shift, and I'll click in Boolean. Now I have options here: union, difference, and intersect. If I go difference, I'll actually cut the cube like this. And if I go intersect, I'll cut like this. How can we actually just cut the center part and display the center part? That's very easy. All we need to do is to select the center part first and then the outside part. Now when we click the Boolean option right here on the right side and choose difference, you can see we have picked just this part. Now let's go ahead and delete these two faces right here. Nice. Now I want to go ahead and select all of this and click extrude. So there's an option here called extrude. Let's scale it a little bit out here, and you can see that 0.1 is already too big. So let's try 0.15 or 0.05. That looks good. All right, so we have made a strap for our gift box. We don't actually need the center faces here. Let's go ahead and use face to delete this and make it more low poly and avoid overlapping faces in game. All right, now you can see what this is looking like. A very nice strap for our gift box. We won't actually need this upper part here, but I'll keep it and try to make use of it. Now I can just duplicate this using Ctrl D, press E for our rotating tool, and rotate like this. You can see once it's 90 degrees, will fit perfectly. Cool. Our gift box is nearly ready. Let's try to actually Boolean this to see what it happens. So if I click Boolean and there's union, let's see if when we click to face, how the faces behave. And this is looking very well, very nicely done. No overlapping faces. We can even just see how is the single model right here. It looks pretty perfect. Now we can use this to try to create the laces above our gift box straps. Let's start by combining this gift box. So there's an option to combine here. Now we can align this with our gift box. So first I click on our cube here and then on the gift box. Under modify you have align to. I can click to align here and click to align here and click to align here. As you can see, this is really perfectly aligned now to our gift box. To remove the align tool right now, just press enter. And this is a very basic 3D modeling tutorial. So you guys must follow along if you really want to step further into this road of creating custom 3Ds for games. I'll scale down this. Let's bring the pivot a little bit lower. So Shift V and snap right here. Now I press W for our moving tool, press V again and snap right here. As you can see, this is looking really nice. Let's go ahead and rotate a tiny bit, or not yet. Let's rotate a bit later. Right now I'm going to duplicate this cube, lower a bit. Okay, we need center pivot right now. Select, modify center pivot. Let's make a little smaller here and increase the size and use our friend Boolean. This time we want make difference, intersect. Oops, I need to select the other first. So first I select the outside and then the inside and click Boolean here again. Now when I go to difference, you can see we have made the strap lace for our, like I should say the strap bow for our gift box. And this is looking really, really nice right now. Let's go ahead and click on face or just object, and let's align this a little bit better. Where can I snap into this? Let's find a way. Okay, I can duplicate this box, shift hold and click on this cube. Now I'm going to press Ctrl+1 to hide everything else. Okay. With Ctrl and Edge, I'm going to select these two edges first and click Connect. Down here on Slice, I need to add 0.5. Right now is 0.2. Hit Enter. And you can see I have a perfect line here. All right, I hit Enter again to confirm. Now I select these three and press Connect once again and hit Enter. Now you can see that I have made a center to this box, okay? I could go ahead and just go Ctrl V and align this pivot and align to this box right here. You can see it's perfect align. But I could also align to the center of the composition. I show you this way because if your box was, for example, somewhere else here, then how would you actually align there? This is one way you could align there. I can delete this box for now because we have the backup. And this one has less polygons. All right. Now I can duplicate this lace or our gift bow, let's call it this way. With D and V, I can align to this side this time. And now I can stick together here. You see that? This is looking very good so far. Let's make this as low poly as possible. So I shift 1 to hide everything else. Click faces. I'll delete this and this. And on the, let's save in case Maya decides to crash, and on the object mode, do the same thing, but for these two other sides. So I go to faces and delete these two now. Okay. All right, this is looking nice. I'll select these two right now and combine. With the rotating tool, give a little rotation to these laces. And this is looking so far so good. All right, we have finished our 3D gift box. Now I'm thinking to actually give a little spacing in here. Let's fix that, and also we'll give you a little bit more idea how can you fix other 3D models in the future. Once again, return a few steps. Okay. And click separate. Now I'm going to bring this here. With edges, I'm going to hold Shift and drag this down and drag this a little bit further. We want to connect this face right here. And we have a option called Target Weld. If we select the vertex selection and choose Target Weld, I can click here, drag and attach there. Click here, drag and attach there. Now we have connected those vertex. So when we use face, we need to click once again to confirm. When I choose face now and move here, you can see they're perfectly connected. Okay. Let's do the same thing here. Edges. Hold Shift and extrude down here. You can see if I hold the face here and bring to the side, this would happen if the vertex wouldn't be connected. Now let's connect the vertex by choosing Target Weld. Just like that. Right click and go to Object Mode. Let's align this pivot here. Once again, snap together. I can now go to edges once again, and I want to pick this edge and bring a little back here. Just like that. I want to make sure the other side is perfectly symmetrical to this. So I'm going to delete the other side. I'm going to clone this, center pivot. With the rotation tool, rotate this side. With the W tool, snap the pivot to here, and with the V tool, snap it here. Now we have a perfectly symmetrical shape. Let's combine. And now I can rotate once again. And this is looking way nicer right now. Okay. We have a perfect low poly gift box. We could even improve this by deleting those lower faces. So let's click on the face here, hold Shift and delete here, here, and here. Now I can delete those. And this is now can call a perfect low poly. We could even delete these ones because In game, you won't see it. 1, 2, delete it. That's basically pretty much how Ragnarok does the 3D models. All the faces that you won't see it, you don't need it, right? So this means we actually don't need these faces as well. The camera cannot rotate that low to be able to see those faces anyway. As well this, as well, let's see these ones. We don't need it. This is a real perfect 3D model for Ragnarok Online right now. Cool. We have a nice looking box here. Let's select everything and click combine. We can even add this box above our table. So let's center our table to, we can press Ctrl 1, hold X to align to here, our grid. We can press D and V and make sure it's perfectly aligned to the grid. So now it's standing perfectly above the grid. Press Ctrl 1 again to review the rest of the models. Delete this model that we don't need. Press D and V to align this to our bottom of the gift box. And press X to align this above the tile here. So let's find our vortex. Okay, almost there. Okay, I'm trying to understand why this is not snapping to the vortex. Here's a vortex. Alright, maybe our Maya needs a restart. Let's go to poly modeling and send these ones again. We could freeze transformation on the table actually. So freeze transformation. And we can align this gift box once again to the very center. Click X and freeze transformation and delete history by type, freeze transformation, and try to align again. Alright, that's not aligning. Let's open the project, see if we can make this align properly. Press W. For some reason it's not aligning this time. So let's position manually here. And we have our gift box right above our table. On the next episode, we are going to actually give these colors. I hope you have enjoyed this very low poly tutorial. Look at that. Perfect looking table. This part of the table, we can also delete the faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete this. Don't waste polygons on Ragnarok Online, so you have a smoother running map. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Speedrun once again. Peace. Bye bye.